Hello everybody, this is Richard, and just wanted to well, make a little video and give some explanations on what Dungeons and Dragons actually is, and hopefully clear up a few things for you. So, Dungeons and Dragons, it's a fantasy role-playing game, and by a role-playing game it means you are going to take on the persona of a fantasy character, like a character in a fantasy book, and Lord of the Rings would be the best example for that, because each of you are going to create a character and you're going to be in a story together. You're going to be a group of adventurers who work together to go out in the world and do good deeds and keep monsters at bay, or go into dungeons and destroy evil, find treasure, that sort of thing. So Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings is a good kind of starting point if you want to know what the tone is. If you think of the Lord of the Rings, where you have, Gandalf is the wizard, and then you have Aragorn, who is the ranger, the swordsman who can track and sneak through the forest and do things like that. And you have Legolas, the elf, who is, has the bow and arrow, is fantastic with the bow, and a great archer. And if you go back to The Hobbit, you would have Bilbo Baggins, who was the burglar, which in Dungeons and Dragons terms is like the thief, the one who is sent to go and get the key from the troll's pocket, or has to figure out how to open the locks and things like that. So there's a group of you working together and going on adventures. Now, how does this actually kind of play out? Well, for those of you who've taken the improv or done the improv with me, it's a little bit similar to that, in as much as you have a character and you are going to be playing that character, but rather than playing a character just for a little while, this is a character that you're going to be playing, well, forever. So, or as long as you're willing to play it. You will develop, personality for that character based on what, like if you're going to pick an elf, you're going to have to play it like an elf. So if you're going to pick a dwarf, you're going to have to play your character like a dwarf. If you pick, you're going to be a human, but you're going to be a sorceress, for example, you want to play that character like a sorceress. So you're going to be talking through that character, putting on a voice, and almost it's like creating an improv scene, but it's just one story that's going to keep going on. And so you do one session, and then the next session you would pick up exactly where you left off. And I am the dungeon master and going to be the one who presents the scenarios, tells you where you are. You're in a dark forest at this point. The sun has just gone down. There are stars twinkling out. Off in the distance, you can see a fire burning, and you see dark, shadowy shapes around the fire. What are you going to do? And then you will tell me what you're going to do, and the characters will talk amongst each other, and they will interact with other characters in the world that I am going to play. They're going to be called like non-player characters. So I have to play everybody that you interact with in the world. So if you go into the inn, I'm going to be the... If you go into the inn, I'm going to be the innkeeper. Hey, what do you want? What do you lot want, eh? Look at you. Yeah, just, hang your cloaks up there. I don't want you dripping water all over my inn, So I'll be the innkeeper like that. But, I've also going to be like the troll. Look at this. What do you think you're doing in my cave, eh? I know what you're doing. You've come for lunch, and it just so happens it's lunchtime for me right now. So why don't you come and sit around the table here, and we'll have something to eat. So I'm going to play in all the characters in the world, describing the world, describing the adventures you go on, telling you what happens to you if you pull this lever in the ancient tomb, and just kind of running everything. So because I do run everything, you don't really have to know the rules at all. Necessarily, you don't have. I've got this big book called the Dungeon Master's Guide. It's got all the rules in there, and, you know, the player's handbook, which you can refer to. That's just a reference. You don't have to read the whole thing. A big chunk of it is just a list of spells, and if you're not going to be a character that uses spells, you don't even need to read that part at all, or any of it really. I can tell you, but there's some areas that you will need to refer to every once in a while, so it's good to have it handy. So that is my first in a series of videos on Dungeons & Dragons, and there will be another one coming up soon. So, bing! Thank you very much.
And we'll see you later in the world of Grey Orc, because that's where you're going to be, travelling through. I'm sure you like it. It's a very nice place. You just got to watch